throwback to the Boxing Day of 2019. Arsenal travelled to the Vitality Stadium to Bournemouth as Mikel Arteta takes charge of his first match as Arsenal boss. Just have a look at the 11 we played that day. One thing becomes really evident. There's been a massive change at Arsenal in terms of the personnel in the last 2.5 years. Some will say that we went from 5th to 5th, and whilst that's a reality, it ignores a key context. We first have to understand why we went from a team that finished 5th in the 2018-19 season to one that was sitting 11th as of Boxing Day and closer to the relegation zone. Arsenal had lost a core of players that had been at the club for quite a while, and for me, this was a reason for decline. From the likes of Alex Iwobi, Laurent Koscielny, Nacho Monreal, Aaron Ramsey, and Danny Welbeck. We also parted ways with some other experienced players like Lick Steiner and Mkhitaryan. The bottom line, a lot of outs with poor recruitment for the replacements. Arsenal were essentially without a creative midfielder after the rift between Unai Emery and Ozil. The defense was comprised by aging centre-backs who were either slow or didn't have the ball playing ability. A right back who had been out with an ACL and needed time to get back. A left back who wasn't good enough for a team that wanted to play possession football, with new signing Kieran Tierney out on the sidelines. A club captain who had fallen out with the fans. A striker in Lacazette who wasn't the same player after his ankle injury. This is the mess that was inherited by Arteta. The worst part is that the underlying metrics showed that we were a bottom half team. So how could this be fixed? Well, the answer was that it was never getting fixed in the short term. An overhaul was required, and that's exactly what happened. Initially under Arteta, the team needed to get results. The senior players were back, and it led to a famous FA Cup triumph post the lockdown. However, after this, Arsenal didn't help themselves with some short-termism and recruitment. The signing of Willian was a total disaster. Pablo Mari and Cedric Soares, who initially joined the club in January, were signed permanently. These were short-term squad-depth deals with a very limited ceiling. With the signings of Gabriel and Partey, Arsenal fans were excited. But as the saying goes, old habits die hard. The deficiencies in the team were evident as we found ourselves 15th in Boxing Day with massive problems in the dressing room. Chelsea were flying at the time under Lampard, and they were our next opponent. And for me, this was when things started to change. Smith Rowe coming in showed what we are capable of when we had a central threat. With Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and Aubameyang who was named on the bench, we saw a glimpse into the future of what life would be without our talisman. Chelsea had spent well over $220 million that summer, and we played them off the park. I believe this made the club rethink its strategy. We started signing young, talented players who could be molded and grow under the guidance of the manager. Arsenal emphasized on the collective culture and stopped heeding to the demands of senior stars. Arteta was bold in his decision making, for example axing club captain Aubameyang for coming late to the North London derby. Soon the effects of this changed strategy was felt in the very next window, evidenced by the signing of Martin Odegaard on loan, a young playmaker and leader who was brought in during the January 2021 window. A quintessential Mikel Arteta player, I must say. To go forward, Arsenal had to take a few hits in the short term, essentially a few steps backwards to go several steps forward. Arsenal started last season without European football for the first time since the 1994-95 season, almost 30 years ago. The club continued its new approach by signing young last summer. Aaron Ramsey, 23 years, Ben White, 23 years, Martin Odegaard, 22 years, Tomiyasu, 22, Lokonga, 21, Tavares, 21. Arsenal finished the window as Europe's highest spenders. Something special was building. The team exceeded everyone's expectations after the 3 opening defeats, and really we should have wrapped up top 4 in the end. I put the reason we didn't finish down to the January window. I know there are many reasons why we didn't finish. You can say the manager, you can say the players, but for me the January window was where we lost it. The club's failure to bring in a striker after Aubameyang's departure cost us, as Alex Lacazette went the entirety of 2022 without a single goal. Obviously, it was extremely disappointing to miss out on Champions League football, especially to our rival Spurs, but we have to move on. There's no point dwelling on it. The reality is we have so much to be excited about. Finally, after years, we're close to having a complete squad. The foundations are in place. It's about elevating the level and ensuring that we learn from our mistakes, which we did do, by the way. We made a mistake with the Willian signing, but we immediately changed course. Every club has certain mistakes. You can make mistakes in the transfer window. It's very possible, but it's important not to repeat them. And that's something that Arsenal have shown. This summer is about filling in the couple gap areas in the starting 11 and then raising the level of the squad as a whole. Arsenal are gearing towards an exciting summer and have already been linked with a whole host of exciting targets. A number 9, wide forward, number 8, and a backup fullback amongst others are on the cards. Gabriel Jesus and Gianluca Scamacca have been linked. Tielemans can be a very good signing for the number 8 position. Currently, this is a role being played by Xhaka. In terms of forwards, the concrete links thus far are Serge Gnabry and Cody Gakpo. For me, Arsenal have to do everything they can to sign Gnabry this summer. It will be a game changer. The difference sees the return of Saliba, and this gives Arsenal some flexibility in terms of the options. In the event Tomiyasu is unavailable, Arsenal could play Saliba where Rob Holding was playing last season, move Ben White to right back without losing anything in build-up. Left back sees us linked with Aaron Hickey and Zinchenko. For me, the latter would be a very exciting signing. What Arsenal needs is men who've been there, done that, 25 to 27, with experience who can make the difference in key moments. What I really like about the recruitment is the fact that these players fit within the blueprint of a system, profile over names. There's no such thing as a bad signing, only bad fits. Arteta's system is really clear. You take a player like Tomiyasu for example. Maybe he might not suit a team that wants to play with overlapping fullbacks, but he suits us because we want our right back to be inverted. And honestly, going to the Emirates this season, I really feel like our fans have taken to our new signings. If Tierney, Partey and Tomiyasu are injured, the drop-off in levels shouldn't be as high. This must be the aim for Arsenal. We finished 5th last season, but we have the youngest squad in the league. Saka, Smith Rowe and Martinelli had their best seasons with the club in terms of output. There's no reason why they won't continue on that trajectory. As a result, the room for internal growth is massive. With a clear wage bill and an ownership willing to spend, I must say that I'm very excited for the summer and the future of Arsenal in general. Don't let Gary Neville tell you that 4th is our ceiling. This is the youngest squad in the league, with the youngest manager in the league, and with the right additions, this team can go places. Thank you all for tuning in. This brings me to the end of the video. Please subscribe to my channel, leave a like and comment. It'll really help me get started. I have some cool stuff planned for you guys this summer, and I hope you guys will all join me on this journey. Until next time.